there, everybody. This is Kristin from Teaching Balance, and I am here with you with this week's mindfulness meditation practice. We are now entering a new month, and for this month, as I was kicking around various ideas, the phrasing it has been feeling a little elusive in terms of what should the term be, and I decided and ended up landing on renewal. However, it can take so many different forms, this idea, and not surprisingly, this being the beginning of spring, and this idea of a refreshing, a renewal, an emerging, an unfolding, a blooming. I'm sure I'll be invoking all of those words over these next several weeks. But that's really the spirit of what I am inviting you and everyone to embrace for this month. Now, one of the things that I always want to acknowledge is that sometimes the invitations that I offer can seem a bit aspirational because it feels like we are just barely keeping it together. Like we are still in many ways feeling like we're still in survival mode, and if we're not in survival mode, we're still kind of like dealing with the impact of having been in survival mode for so long. And so I just want to acknowledge that, when I start talking about things like softening and blooming and all of that kind of stuff, I get it that sometimes it's just like, if I could just get through the day, that's really all I'm looking for. I'm not really feeling like I'm blooming, I get that. So I just want to acknowledge that. And at the same time, in this spirit of renewal and the turning of the year, and wherever you are, perhaps you're seeing, buds on trees or crocus coming up or, something like that. In spite of how incredibly difficult everything has been, time marches on and nature continues forth and doing her thing. And so what I'm going to invite you to do, perhaps just for this week, is to try to align yourself with that energy of renewal and emergence and freshening. And I'll just kind of leave it at that and let you decide how you want to interpret that and how that might perhaps apply in your life. But just this idea of, spring is coming, the days are longer, things are a little bit warmer, generally speaking, and nature is waking up a little bit. And as such, can you align yourself with that spirit of moving forward, renewing, emerging, even if sometimes it feels like it's a little harder than others? So a little bit of an abstract one for this week, but nonetheless, one of the things that's very supportive of any of these types of nourishing, invitations, particularly when they have this nature-focused quality, is unquestionably continuing with your practice. Now, I'm not sure, every once in a while I just get this real deep desire to just sit in silence, so I'm going to do that with this one. There is no weaving of anything in, and I don't think we have any brand spanking new members right now, at least of this filming, so let's just get into it. And actually, let's just get into it. And I'm just going to hit my timer right now to get it started. Excuse me one second. Okay, so the final thoughts before we get into it and sit together in silence for 10 minutes is just perhaps once again introducing this idea of renewal, emerging, freshening. And if none of that resonates with you, that's okay. You can just discard it at your leisure. All right, let's go ahead and sit together. Sorry if that was a little loud. Hope it didn't jar you. So that's our 10 minutes. That was great. I needed that. Hopefully you did as well. Only because it came up for me during my practice, I thought I'd mention it. I noticed that I found myself having several sort of dark ruminative thoughts, which, happens, it just happens. And I just wanted to acknowledge that. And then, sort of just from my experience, what I was doing was when I noticed it, I was like, wow, that's dark. I don't think I really want to, think about that. And then I brought my attention back, and then it just was not, I was not feeling as sort of sticky, I guess you could say, in the present moment, and with my anchor. So I started just playing with a little bit of an internal mantra. And actually, I don't know if you remember, last month was the whole month of self-love. And so that's one that I have been finding a surprising amount of comfort in. So basically, in my mind, I was just saying, like, I love myself, I accept myself. And then the other one that I like a lot is I don't take myself too seriously. I don't know, it's just good for me. But there's something about the repetition of that mantra, if you want to call it that, that just helps me get back in alignment when it comes to, feeling just a little more supported regarding not getting lost in thoughts, particularly dark or disturbing thoughts. So I just wanted to offer that if it was of value for anyone. So as always, thank you so much for taking this time for yourself, and thank you for allowing me to accompany you on this journey. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.